Spurs, welcome to another video on the Inside Spurs Show. Happy Thursday morning. It's morning as I record this. It'll be afternoon when you see this. I hope you're okay. I hope the day's treated you, or the week's treating you as well as it possibly can treat. Obviously, happy game day. We play today at 5:45 p.m. UK time, away to the Hungarian champions. Someone actually did teach me how to pronounce it. I've completely forgotten. Apologies to whoever did do that. You know who you are. Very much apologies. Ferencvaros, I think is how he pronounces it. But you get what I mean. So I'm going to be talking about my last minute thoughts ahead of the game tonight. You know, what I hope to see, what I expect to see, what I think we might see. So we're talking about that. Also want to talk about the England squad that's come out. We have a player back into the England squad. We have players still missing from the England squad. So we'll talk about that as well. Just want to say, if you're watching this and you're new, subscribe. You're very much welcome to join us for the journey. And let's talk about the game tonight, because I think that's the most important thing. England squad can wait. International football can wait. We still got 2 games this week before I even give a damn about international football, which, to be honest, when it's Nation League friendlies, I don't really care anyway. But yeah, in the game tonight, obviously, the contingent that has gone out in terms of the Spurs squad that's gone out, there is a decently strong squad. Now, Destiny and Sonny haven't travelled with the squad. They're back in London. They're working on their fitness ahead of Brighton at the weekend. So hopefully we see them at the weekend featuring. I, by the way, also was on a Brighton podcast last night. It's going to be released today in the sort of the early evening. It's at Seagull Social. I've talked about them before on the channel before. I will put a link in description down below to their channel. Go and watch it. We talk Brighton. We talk Spurs. They're quite nervous and they're looking forward to the game, as you always do when it's a Premier League team. But you know they're very nervous about how the way Spurs played against United. They've got some injuries in quite key places for key players as well. So I was on there. I think it's about 20 minutes long. It's a really great preview with a couple of great guys, Maz and Ben. So do go and check them out. I'll put it on the community post as well when it does actually get released. It'll probably be around the games on, so it might be a great halftime watch. So yeah, really coming forward though and talking about this game. You know, it's a game that when I talk about the new style of Champions League, Europa League and Conference League football, it's a league system. It's not just based on the points that you've earned, but it's also the goal difference that you have. And I said, you know, the fact that we beat Karabag 3-0 is quite massive. You know, one, it's 3 points, which is obviously great. It's a home game that you should win. But also, on top of that, it's +3 in the goal difference. I mean, Spurs are 4th at the moment in the Europa League. I mean, after the game tonight, we could be first. We could win. Maybe we'll get a couple of goals, you know. And you really go into game week 3, which I believe is AZ Alkmaar at home. If you can go actually into game week 4 on the back of 3 Europa League wins, maybe your goal difference is, you know, plus, let's say we win both those games by 1, it's +5. That's pretty strong. So then you do play Hoffenheim away, you do play Galatasaray away. You know, you still got to play Roma and Rangers away. These are what on the paper look the easier of the games. These are then the ones you need to fill your boots. And tonight, I'm really looking for Spurs to win this game. Fill your boots. Go into game week 3 with AZ Alkmaar on the 24th of October. I think it's 24th of October. Don't hold me exactly to that. You go with confidence. You go in there going, it's another home game against, no offence to AZ Alkmaar, not one of the bigger teams that we pulled, like Roma or Galatasaray. They're the 2 bigger teams that we've pulled. The Spurs should be going into that game then with AZ Alkmaar going, another win, another 3 points. Dragisin will be back from suspension as well. That'll be another key thing to hold on to. Go into game week 4, which I think is Galatasaray away, knowing that, look, we've got 9 points of 9. We've got a goal difference of +5. You know, if we get a draw or we lose against Galatasaray, it really isn't the end of the world. So for me, I'm looking for the win. That's what I expect today. Expect us to win. What I'm looking to see, though, is that continuation of the attacking side of things. Defensively, I think a lot of people over-egg the defensive issues and emphasis on the quotation part, because actually XG-wise and when you watch the games, Spurs are actually one of the better defences in the Premier League. Just saying that. If you don't like that, go and do your own research on that and you'll see Spurs are actually, I think, a top 5 defence. I think it might even be a top 4 on XG. So with that, I'm looking to continue that. Continue defensively being stout. You know, you're not going to have a game where you give up absolutely 0 chances. That doesn't really happen. There's always going to be a chance that you're going to give it up. You know, there's going to be corners that you've got to deal with. I'm expecting to see Romero play today. I'm expecting to see some quite key guys playing today. I think people are probably going a little bit too far with let's play Maddison, let's play Solanke. If Son could play, let's play Son. I think this is more of a time of, hey, we've got a big game against Brighton at the weekend as well. Don't forget about that. As much as, we don't want to completely rest every player tonight, and we should play some of them, we need to be also keeping an eye on the fact that Sunday afternoon, Brighton would have had 8 days off between playing on Saturday last week and Sunday this week. We obviously played at the weekend. So we played the Sunday. Yes, we played the Sunday. We played the Thursday. We're playing the Sunday. So in the space of a week, we played 3 times. So you don't... for me, Maddison on the bench. I love Madders. I think, I think he's been one of our better players this season, which I think people are saying that he's not. I'm not really sure what parameters they're going with. He's been one of our better players. He's not been the reason why we're 8th in the league, But I would say Bergval's going to start, which that's what we all want. We want to see more of Lucas. We want to see more of Archie Gray. Archie Gray is going to be starting. I can probably put, your house, my house, Steve's house down the road, his bank account, Gareth's bank account on Archie Gray starting. I saw people saying that it might be even at centre-back, which I don't know about that. Because then it was like, Porro's probably going to start. And I'm like, well, I don't know if I'd want Porro to start. I think you'd have Davies and Romero as your centre-backs. I mean, I thought Van der Ven and Davies, Romero at centre-back, because Dragic obviously been sent off. And I was thinking, actually, you might have to play Porro and Romero, and Gray might play left-back. Which, again, yes, it's not his most natural position, but it's a position where he gets more and more game time and learns. So I expect to see him. I think Vic probably starts this game, if I'm honest. I do think Vic starts. Basuma and Sarr, yeah, I think they start. And I like them starting together. They've got great chemistry. They work really well together. I thought they were brilliant against Qarabağ. People seem to not think they were very good, but seem to completely gloss over the fact we were against 10 men and this wasn't our strongest side and we'd lost a centre-half. It was better than you thought. They were much better than you thought. I thought Sarr was absolutely magnificent against Qarabağ. The energy to get up and down the pitch, to continue doing the high press, which Spurs are one of the best pressing teams in the world, but also to get back and help Basuma on defence. And those boys, I'm surprised, even featured on the bench against Man United, because they must have been absolutely out on their feet come 90 minutes being against Qarabağ. And then in the attack, I saw people saying, let's give Solanke rest and things like that. I can see Brennan Johnson playing, to be honest. But I can see what we did against Qarabağ. I can see Johnson playing, and if things are all right by half-time, maybe 2-0 up, you get him off. Get him off. He's, one of our most informed players at the moment, which I know some people probably hate to hear that Johnson's one of our most informed players. But when I was doing that Brighton podcast with Seagull Social with Maz and Ben, they were actually saying, we are afraid of Brennan Johnson, which if you, a Spurs fan listening to that, go, hang on, other teams are actually noticing Brennan Johnson. They're actually aware and they're actually somewhat scared of him. Yeah, Brennan Johnson can play football. Shockingly, I know. But, they're worried about Solanke. Speak of the devil, Ben just messaged me. They're worried about Solanke, but, play the game, get the game done by 60 minutes, get Solanke off. Get Johnson off. Lancashire, Mikey, whoever it might be coming on. I know some people want Mikey to start. Just humour me on this. Werner might come on. Maybe Mikey's starting and Werner comes on. You know what I mean? Get the guys off. Dorrington's out with the squad as well, which is really, really nice. There's quite a few good quality youngsters out with the squad, which is really, really nice. So if you are 2 or 3-0 up, get them off. Get those guys on. Even if we end up conceding a couple, but we only win by 1, all right. The development they get from that 30 minutes of football is absolutely invaluable. So I'm looking for a good, solid performance, a continuation of solid defence ability. Again, don't use Qarabağ as your comparison. You're down to 10 men. Let's think about it. But I'm looking forward to, and looking hopeful to see that continuation in attack, continuing every single week to improve. Because somewhat for the last few weeks, even though, yes, it's Coventry away, it's Qarabağ, it's Brentford at home, and Man United away is obviously an interesting one, but, there has been steps improving. So I want to see a bit of that. So I still think Spurs win by 2. Maybe it's 3-1, maybe it's 2-0, but I think Spurs win by 2. Talking about the England squad, really quick, obviously Lee Carsley is the still think he's the interim manager. Obviously, Southgate's gone. Carsley was the under-21 manager and had some good success in the under-21. It's kind of the same trajectory that Southgate took. He's now the manager. He has, and I think not officially announced, but Ornstein, as they do, aggregators sort of announced beforehand, that Dominic Solanke has made himself, has got himself into the England squad for the games against Greece and Finland. He's only had actually one previous England cap, which was in 2017 against Brazil. So he's deserved it. Obviously, you've still got Kane, you've still got Watkins, but Tony's now out in Saudi as well. So you definitely see the pecking order sort of remove Tony. Solanke's come up one, which it's more than deserved. I think Solanke should have been in the squad in the summer anyway. I mean, the goals sort of speak for himself last season, you know. So good to see Solanke in the squad, but Maddison still misses out, which does surprise me. Morgan Rogers, Bowen and Maguire among those not included. Morgan Rogers does surprise me. I thought he's been brilliant this season for Villa. And massive win for Villa last night against Bayern Munich. But I'm still surprised by Maddison. Maddison's had a really strong start to the season. Something evidently just isn't clicking for the England setup with Maddison. I mean, look, it's... For me, as the fan of Maddison, I want him to play for England. It's my country as well, obviously, which helps. But I want him to play. I want him to have success with England. I want him to be happy when he can go to England. But, you know, the selfish side of me, the club side of me, he gets 2 weeks off. He gets 2 weeks off. He can come back rested for West Ham at home. Jared Bowen's going to come back rested for West Ham when they play against us away. So, you know, it's good for us in that regards. It's just a shame for him on the personal level. But congratulations to Dominic. More than deserved. Well deserved as well. I think he's been fantastic these last few weeks for us. And yeah, more than deserving of that England call-up. But anyway, guys, at the end of the video, I hope you enjoyed. Drop a like on the video if you did. Hit me in the comment section about your thoughts, feelings about the game tonight. Obviously, down in the description below, check out Seagull Social ahead of tonight, as well as what we're going to be talking about on there. You'll see it's a little bit more frank. I'm a little bit more casual because they're my friends as well. Obviously, subscribe to the channel if you're new and hit the bell notification for more. But anyway, guys, in the video, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care, guys.